That's the wrong scene. I should open with this. Welcome to another episode of Tabletop Cinema, where we bring together the worlds of filmmaking, tabletop role-playing, and video games. I'm your host Mikey, a freelance filmmaker, TRPG game master, and variety streamer on Twitch. And today, we return to our first playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima, Director's Cut. Today, we follow Jin Sakai as he embraces his role as the ghost and resorts to methods considered dishonorable by his samurai uncle. Essentially disowned by the Shimura clan and tagged a criminal. Jin is broken free by his allies who remain steadfast. Is he going too far as the ghost? We'll find out. And welcome everyone to the stream. Three-Eyed Magpie, Izzy Curse, good to have you back. First try at the boss. Nice. Yeah, I realized I'll have to go through the first biome again, but it gets easier with time, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but congratulations on that. I'll be hoping to tackle the second biome next week. And yes, Three-Eyed Magpie, it does seem to be a dragon with earrings. Your dragon egg has hatched. It has been more than 2 months. My god, since we started streaming. Time flies. I honestly didn't feel the passage of time. It feels like I was just streaming yesterday, but it feels so much different now, and it's just great to see chat a bit more active and meeting new faces. Well, I mean, kind of faces. You get what I mean. But it's great to have new people in the community and just to slowly grow and get this channel off the ground. But yeah, I can't wait to get back to Returnal. Let's see how my muscle memory holds up. I guess it's gonna take some time for me to grow into it since I'm gonna just be playing it every week. But yeah, I'm looking forward to unlocking more of the mysteries. I want to get into the house again in Returnal because I want to learn more about that mystery. So the lore is drip fed in Returnal, and the gameplay, I'm enjoying it for now. But yeah, I'm not surprised that you're gonna have a third playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima, and yeah, with the Kurosawa mode, it's surprisingly really good. When I first started Ghost of Tsushima, I was kind of like, oh, it feels kind of floaty, like not really feeling it. And then they started giving us stances, tools, and I started to get to know a bit more about the characters. And it's just like, I do love the Assassin's Creed series, and there was a whole thing about people wishing Assassin's Creed would go into like feudal Japan or some other time, but set in Japan. And I think this is the closest we're ever gonna get. And yet there's more, I feel a bit more forward momentum here. It's not as meandering or as bloated as the current Assassin's Creed games, which I still love. But I never, I fell off Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I went into Tsushima, and I'm excited to play every week. Off stream, I clear up all of the side quests, not relating to side characters. But on stream, I do play the supporting cast quests and the main quests. Yeah, Death Stranding. It's less horror for me. It's light horror. That you said it right. It's kind of light horror. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing as well, Izzy. Blizzard, Ubisoft. Yeah, there's a reckoning happening going on. There's a reckoning happening. There's a reckoning going on. Words. Yep. So yeah, this is existential horror, psychological horror. But Death Stranding does have that existential what is human connection? What is the meaning of life in a disconnected world? Do we require connections to remain human? And where do we go after death? Yeah, existential stuff. Returnal, I'm not sure yet. I'm loving the aesthetic of Returnal. I mean, you could say it's like generic alien, generic sci-fi or whatever, but I do like how it plays. I do like how it looks. and I am intrigued by the mystery enough to keep playing. Yeah, that feeling. I still feel that, and I kind of went through. I felt like I was in Death Stranding, kind of, when I was playing Until Dawn yesterday, because I was holding my breath, and they'd get, the monsters would get so close in Until Dawn, you'd have to hold still with the controller, and I literally got lightheaded because I was just holding my breath and I was saying, "Shit, this is like avoiding BTs right now." It's really well done, and the way they use multiplayer to enhance the theme of their connection, enhance the theme of human connection and rebuilding a country. Now, it's a Kojima game. A lot of things are a bit, definitely it's on brand, very melodramatic, very verbose, quite convoluted. It's, as I told one of my friends, it's basically um you know what we're familiar, it's the style of writing we're familiar delivered through an anime, except this is funneled through Hollywood actors. So for me, that's always been Kojima's brand. It's like an anime, but with Western actors. Yeah, and it's a shame about BioWare, honestly. Like, ever since some of the original developers of BioWare all the way came, back in the days of Black Isle with Fallout, Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, then I believe some former Black Isle employees went on to form BioWare. And Neverwinter Nights came out. Man, BioWare, and then Dragon Age, and then Mass Effect Trilogy. And then what happened? Like, the MMO, The Old Republic, was disappointing for me, because I love the Knights of the Old Republic series, and I really wanted a KOTOR 4. I did enjoy the Old Republic, but you could tell they were limited by the MMO format. I don't know how it is now. People are saying it's a worthy successor because of the focus and narrative now, but I haven't gotten into the Old Republic, and ever since then, it's just been a miss after miss. I enjoyed Andromeda, but it was nowhere near, for me, the quality and polish as the original trilogy. Yeah. I never played Subnautica. Underwater stuff, that's something I have to reconcile myself with. I was terrified of underwater sequences ever since I got into Mario 64. I think it's because of Mario 64 that made me afraid of underwater sequences. I don't know why. I just remember, I barely remember anything from my childhood, but I do remember being terrified of the underwater sequences. Not just terrified, but frustrated at the underwater sequences in Mario 64. Elite Dangerous as a existential horror? No. Yeah, I do favor narrative heavy games, but honestly, I play all kinds of genres. Elite Dangerous, I also had my stint there. For me, getting into Death Stranding, it brought me back to my times as a space trucker in Elite Dangerous. Like, there really is no... Look, there's a story there in Elite Dangerous. They even had a news network there that they used to update, but I don't think it's updated now, unfortunately. But they try to keep up this narrative going on. It's a sandbox. They plop you in. There's no hand-holding. But if you wish, you could tap into like your news. You can tap into your the news. Look into it. We're all written in character, and there are player-made radio stations, and they made it so immersive with fake ads. And I was just in my ship, headphones on, lights off, just autopiloting to the next destination, and not autopiloting, but jumping to the next destination, having the player radio, the player-made radio station on. I won't forget that. It is a great experience for me, Elite Dangerous. But I kind of fell off because the narrative wasn't. There was no narrative focus. You could see the templated quests, the templated missions, the templated format. it's really what you make of it. Just like EVE Online, it's a story you build yourself. And it takes a lot of ambition and grit and self-motivation to get through it. But I've realized as a gamer that I do like being fed a narrative and incentive to move forward rather than creating my own story. Which is funny because I love tabletop RPGs. But they're different mediums. Returnal has a very good narrative and it tells it in such a gameplay-focused way that you're having... Yeah, that is surprisingly difficult to do, I would say. Because we do have the format of the last decade, which is gameplay, cutscene. Gameplay, cutscene, and the Metal Gear series were notorious for this, especially Metal Gear Solid 4. You play for 5 minutes and you sit through a 1-hour cutscene. Exaggerating, but you get my point. And a lot with these action-adventure games as well. Hell, even Ghost of Tsushima. Okay, I love the gameplay of Ghost of Tsushima right now, and for me, it's a great balance. It's actually, I'm actually wishing for a bit more motion captured cutscenes. Because what I'm seeing in Ghost of Tsushima is a lot of, you know, just wide two-shot, awkward camera angle, no close-ups on the face. That's what I liked about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where every conversation had an over-the-shoulder angle, and you could see the facial animations, even if they were repetitive. I felt so much more connected in the dialogue moments there. But in Ghost of Tsushima, you talk to them, you feel like it's a game, it's an awkward camera angle. These are for the side quests, by the way. But the main quests, the supporting side characters, when they do have fully motion captured cutscenes and everything, those are really well done. But I understand development costs. They had to cut a few things. You don't want to end up like abusive employers and forcing your developers to crunch just to get, as Matthew Arcelia put it one day, perfect walking animations, such as in The Last of Us, or having everything as a cutscene. Yeah, slow walking narrative gameplay and the restful gameplay. Yeah, that is the format we've seen in a lot of PlayStation Studios games. I haven't played God of War, but you know, Uncharted, Tomb Raider. I enjoyed all these games, by the way. But on the flip side, you have the super overstuffed, overbloated sandbox with generic checkpoint lists on the map, as they call if it's a Ubisoft game, it's a Ubisoft formula, open world formula. It's a checklist of things to do with no real, I don't know. It became a chore for me. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But yeah, we're supposed to be getting the Ghost of Tsushima, but it's great to have you back on the stream, Izzy Kurtz. Just talking with chat now. Raft, I've never played it, Three-Eyed Magpie. You're not a big fan of narrative games. What genres do you like playing, Magpie? Oh, nice. Yeah. And the fact that I heard, I never played God of War. I've heard that it's simulating one unbroken take, much like how Birdman was filmed. You know, one take throughout the entire film from start to finish. That I really think really helps as well, because you feel like it's always gameplay, right? Because they never cut, and the cuts are hidden, you know, behind walls, behind people. You can tell where the cuts are, but it's that feeling of this whole moment being unbroken from the very beginning. Character interaction, I see. Yeah, I do like interacting with characters. It really is my thing, I realize. Even as a tabletop RPG player, I'm one of the players that always wants to like get into 1917 was one take. Yeah. 1917. One take. Well, simulated one take. It wasn't literally one take, but you know, the movie magic needed to make it feel like a one take. They used it to good effect, I feel, in 1917. I did enjoy the movie for its technical aspects. It was hard for me to get out of the behind the scenes mindset while I was watching 1917. That's, you know, ever since I got into film and everything, that's These people who try the whole one take thing or really over technical shots. As someone who's been behind the scenes, I just have to accept that I can't get my head around. Like, it takes me out of the moment. It's not a bad thing. It just happens instinctively for me because I feel like, oh shit, like how do they get the camera through that? How do they get, how do they edit it to make it seem so seamless? So all these things keep rushing through my head. That's the whole thing when I was watching 1917. Like, holy fuck! Like the camera went over the river. Like, what equipment did we need to set that up? How long did it take to set up? But thankfully, God of War, and it's a game. It's God of War. it's it's not a real film, like a live action film. So I'm gonna be able to be immersed myself, I feel. On that note, God of War is coming to the PC. I never thought it would, but after Horizon Zero Dawn, people started having doubts, and I think this will open the floodgates now. But if you don't have a PlayStation and you are waiting for it in the PC, you'll probably have to be waiting 3 to 4 years for a PlayStation exclusive to come to the PC. So yeah, I'm still gonna try and play God of War as we near the release date of Ragnarok. I'll probably play it on the PlayStation because I know where it originally was. We'll see. Though the PC version will have upgraded graphics, I'm not confident my PC will be able to handle it at max. So PlayStation it is for me. Single camera over the horrible flipping angles, over and over stuff in character stock. I see. Yeah, I think it's because of my language, my visual language that I've grown up with. Which is, watching all these films growing up, it's what I'm used to. The over-the-shoulder shots, the complimentary over-the-shoulder shots for dialogues. So that's a very interesting perspective. I know everyone here we watched films and everything, but it's actually quite curious. Like this topic was never really brought up, but this is the first time I'm also hearing it. That the horrible flipping angles. Do you mean nauseous when they flip too quickly? Yeah, then that's the problem of editing. Yeah, definitely it can be edited well. If there are jump cuts in there, it takes me out as well. But for example, BioWare. Let's take Mass Effect trilogy as an example. Like those are the kind of camera angles I was hoping for, like more of those. Which is what I appreciated in Odyssey, where they decided to embrace the fact that, all right, Assassin's Creed is an RPG now. Let's have these dialogue sequences a la Mass Effect. So I'm fine with that. You linger on the close-up of a person. You have your dialogue options there. You choose an option, flips back to you. Not like jump cutting everywhere. So BioWare-esque narrative camera angles is what I was hoping for more in like Ghost of Tsushima. But I am enjoying the game. And rounding back all the way to Ghost of Tsushima, we're on part 10 of our playthrough, I believe. Or part 9. Part 9. And it's in quite the journey. We've gotten most of the tools now. We've gotten so many upgrades. And we're no longer floundering about as in our first sessions. It is a struggle. I started this game on hard mode. And I was playing other games as well, like every week. And it was a challenge. A good challenge. I got stubborn. I played through it. And now I'm enjoying being able to use all these tools. It's giving me the vibes of being back, playing and loving Batman Arkham Asylum. For me, Batman Arkham Asylum really changed the way third-person combat systems worked. I think it's because of Arkham Asylum that the influence of it, like what Gears of War did for third-person shooters, I feel like Arkham Asylum did for third-person melee-heavy combat games. Dragon Age 4. I like your taste there. Mass Effect 2, honestly, was the one that gripped me the most. And Dragon Age Origins, classic. But this may be divisive as well, but I felt the most personally connected to Dragon Age 2. Gameplay issues aside, reused map assets aside, I don't know why. I just felt personally more invested in Dragon Age 2. I think it's because the story was smaller scale, focused on family, and it is more focused, I guess, like in general. And Inquisition, it just opens up everything, literally, to an open world. And it was this grand, epic thing, but it got a bit tedious at some point. Dragon Age 1 was a great balance for me. Yeah, it was. You could tell it was still rooted in BioWare's Neverwinter Nights KOTOR phase. Multiple dialogue options, not just a wheel with like 4 options. You felt like you had more options in dialogue. You felt like you were role playing more, I feel. Anyway, I hated DA2 design wise. I don't know why I liked Hawk and their story. But honestly, yeah, I love the whole Dragon Age trilogy. And Mass Effect 2 for me was like Mass Effect 3 was all about big moments and everything. And story-wise, of course, as fans of the Mass Effect trilogy, we're like, oh my god, this is happening, or oh shit, why this ending, why? And yeah, it had to wrap up all of that. Mass Effect 3. It had a lot was riding on its shoulders to cap off this amazing trilogy. Mass Effect 2 had the benefit of being the bridge and being able to focus on its own thing and just, this is a suicide mission. And it really upped the stakes for me. So I love Mass Effect 2. Yeah, my friends as well are huge Dragon Age fans. I grew up with Neverwinter Nights. I watched my brother play the old Baldur's Gate Fallout, but I was too young to experience them. And when I finally got my hands on Neverwinter Nights, when I was starting out gaming, yeah, that changed my life alongside my brother running Dungeons and Dragons for me. But we just had this discussion a few weeks ago with some of my friends, and I'm not hopeful anymore. Because all the people we know who worked on these games left BioWare. And sure, it's not like they take the whole game with them. And I am hoping the same thing. That look, I understand BioWare now is trying to buy into, trying to regain their goodwill with fans. They released Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition. They're remaking Knights of the Old Republic, which I'm freaking excited, by the way. Knights of the Old Republic was the one that converted me into a Star Wars fan. It wasn't actually the films or the Clone Wars series or anything. It was Knights of the Old Republic that made me a Star Wars fan. They're remaking that, so you could see that BioWare's trying to say, "Hey, we're trying to go back. Here's a remake of Knights of the Old Republic, and to tide you over, here's a remaster of the Mass Effect trilogy. What's Andromeda? I don't know what Mass Effect Andromeda is. Come on, people hate too much on Mass Effect Andromeda. They gave it a shot. They tried to, come on, they had to follow up from Shepard and that amazing cast of characters. Andromeda was already, the odds were against it from the very beginning. Gameplay wise, sure, Andromeda was okay, but people see it as this, I don't know, they were just a bit too harsh in it, in my opinion, and they were saying it was just a stepping stone for Anthem, which totally, I think Anthem was the one that like almost sealed the casket for BioWare. I never played Anthem, but my friend played Anthem, which is so regretful of ever pre-ordering that. Respawn, oh my god, Titanfall, Izzy, all of these games, man, I love these. Respawn, like sure, I'm glad. I actually enjoyed. I don't play much Battle Royale. I fell off the genre after playing way too much PUBG. But Apex was technically for me like super well done. I haven't played Call of Duty Warzone. I'm not gonna touch that. But Apex, in terms of you don't even need voice comms. The ping system, all the quality of life features, the way the game moved, the aesthetic, everything, the fact that it is set in a Titanfall universe and that they were trying to expand the lore with it with Titanfall, I did appreciate that. But I don't know, Respawn's kind of stuck with, what are they developing now? I'm not exactly sure. Sure, they're maintaining Apex, but right. Yeah, Respawn going into Jedi Fallen Order. My god. Yes, that yes, Respawn. They still got it. I really love Jedi Fallen Order. So much so that after finishing Jedi Fallen Order and Titanfall 2 campaign, yes, yes. Check it out. I'm gonna put the camera up, but yeah, I was such a huge Titanfall fan. That's the helmet right there. I love it. Yeah, they're gonna announce a new Star Wars game, so fingers crossed. With a huge license like that, it could go either way. But you know what I'm deep down really still hoping for? A really good Lord of the Rings game. I enjoyed the Shadow of War. I enjoyed the Mordor series, but you know, it's just basically Arkham in with a LOTR skin. But I'm just so baffled why there isn't a huge Middle Earth hit yet in terms of games. Lord of the Rings Online, I was actually stuck with that, but you know. Yeah, I can't wait for the sequel of Jedi Fallen Order. I've never felt so awesome wielding a lightsaber, not since the Jedi Knight series. And I saw what they were trying to do, where they put Jedi Fallen Order. Immediately, just the memories of Kyle Katarn, Star Wars Dark Forces, Jedi Knight 1, 2, Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy. Wow, man. I was so hopeful. I lowered my expectations so much for Jedi Fallen Order when I played it. I'm like saying, yeah, I feel like a badass again with the lightsaber and the Force. So we'll see what they do with the next sequel. Monolith. What's Monolith been working on? Yeah, after Shadow of... I keep confusing the titles. After their Mordor games, where are they gonna go next? Yeah. But next year, we have a lot to look forward to. There was an article saying indeed that next year, February, I believe, things are just gonna explode again. For me, this year, it was kind of in September when all these games came out. Then my stream schedule got super busy because I wanted to play. Yeah, the Shadow of War, guys. I've been following a lot of the gaming news because I've been so stuck trying to get through my backlog. Yeah, for what it was, I did enjoy it. It's like junk food for me. Junk food Middle Earth. Fun action, fun gameplay. You know, bombastic story and just Sauron being a badass. You could tell they were having fun with it. And I know some purists who are all like, oh, but that's not Middle Earth or anything. But really, for me, you can definitely respect the source material, but you can also, when you Magpie was saying before, once you put your stories out there, you get to be critical of it and you get to, in a way, own it. It no longer truly belongs to the creator. So you could tell they wanted to put their spin on things, but I could also tell that they did at least the bare minimum to try and get, Middle Earth lore consistencies aside, but they really hyped it up. It's kind of like, for me, that's like what they try to do with Force Unleashed. Star Wars Force Unleashed. Until then, before Star Wars Force Unleashed, we never really thought of I never really thought of the Force being used to literally crush AT-ATs or bring down a Star Destroyer. They just upped it all the way to crazy, Super Saiyan power level over 9,000 levels That's what Force Unleashed did, and it opened the floodgates for like other interpretations of how freaking amazing what the Force could be. Yes, that is what honestly like. Lord of the Rings computer RPG, and fine, even like a Lord of the Rings. I know shallow comparison, but open world Skyrim-esque Lord of the Rings. I'm just so shocked we haven't had one yet. I guess it's about the license and what developers they've been tapping. I'm still holding out hope because Lord of the Rings is coming back. It definitely is. If the series doesn't flop, but because of the new series coming up with Lord of the Rings, I feel like it's gonna re-enter the consciousness of a lot of fans. It's also releasing alongside the One Ring RPG second edition, which my friends and I are planning to get into because we're huge Lord of the Rings fans. So the hype is slowly, it's simmering right now until they release the trailer. And that plus Wheel of Time. I never read the Wheel of Time books, but Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time, it's gonna fill in the hole that Game of Thrones Season 8 left behind. A huge, ragged hole. I enjoyed the first few seasons of Game of Thrones. I really tried to stick with it until the end. But you could tell they just kind of... they kind of just left it to die. And, just like that, less than a year, no one's talking about Game of Thrones. And now there's this huge gap. Hopefully Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time, The Witcher. I did enjoy the first season. I'm a huge fan of the books and the games. I hope they'll fill the void-shaped hole in terms of fantasy. Okay, I'm fine with Gollum, but that was something I did not expect. Of all the Lord of the Rings games they could have done, they decided, let's have you play as Gollum. I'm still gonna play it. I'm still gonna try it because I'm just wondering how that went on in the meeting. At the boardroom meeting, we're saying, we need to make a new Lord of the Rings games, guys. What do you think we should do? Oh, well, we could... How about have the players be able to create their own fellowship, their own player character, and they'll meet a colorful cast of people, recruit them to fight evil and go on adventures. Sure. What about you, Greg? What do you think? I feel like we want to play as Gollum. And they were just sold on that concept because it is just equal parts super risky, but equal parts also ludicrous. So I hope the risk pays off and that it's at least good. Why not? Because we haven't had a perspective. We've never seen Gollum's perspective. Not really. We know he was tortured in Mordor. We know he's been going around the world just trying to survive and find the ring. But how do you play him? Aside from stealth, and what kind of narrative would that be? It's actually so out there and so unexpected that I feel it's intentional. That, hey guys, we're gonna make a Gollum game. Try it out. That I'm gonna try it out just by virtue of it being so unexpected. Yeah, subverting expectations. That's why I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna give this Gollum game a chance. Even though I really wish we'd have a unexpected CRPG Lord of the Rings game. But hey, I guess if it counts for it, Lord of the Rings influences in everything we play. So, not everything, in a lot of things we play. So I guess it's kind of like spiritually bringing Lord of the Rings to the table whenever we play like Dungeons and Dragons, elves, orcs, all this and stuff like that. Probably the Styx series. I never played it. But wasn't Styx the where you play the goblins? Yeah, right? It's like orcs and men, and you play as like the orcs. So yeah, I'm all for exploring these perspectives, and critically looking at it, he's a tragic figure, Gollum, but it's definitely not like like DC would never like let you play as the Joker, right? I wouldn't want to play as the Joker, not really. Like what is that saying? If you're making Joker playable and you get to massacre everyone in Gotham. But Gollum is an interesting choice. Like sure he's kind of the villain at points, but he was just a corrupted soul. And I guess it's really about dealing with that. And they could really explore the psychosis of someone who had the ring and was corrupted by it. It's really challenging. For me, it's really quite challenging. From my perspective, having players in the shoes of a villain. Like, yes, it's a fictional tale, but in terms of what the villain actually does or who the villain is, sometimes you just have to take a step back and think about what are we enabling here or what are we normalizing. And it's fine. You know your boundaries, you know that it's just a game, and you're willing to explore these facets of these characters. But at the same time, you also get the unfortunate reality that some people gravitate towards villains and think the villains are right. Yes, the villains are right a lot of the times. A lot of well-written villains are objectively right, but they are not good. You get it? It's like you can say you can solve world hunger, or you can say you can achieve clean green perpetual energy, but at the cost of, for example, like blowing up a planet or sacrificing an entire population to get that. It's a slippery slope. So the best villains are always ones we can sympathize with, but at the same time still condemn for their actions. But yeah, I'm really appreciating this discussion. I should probably have more just chatting sessions. But we're wrapping up this week with Ghost of Tsushima. But Izzy, thank you for engaging, and I just love talking about stuff like this. It's been so long, and I do appreciate that. Yeah, all of these games you're bringing up, I am such a huge fan of these games as well, and it's just bringing me back to all that, and as well hoping for better things for those franchises. But at the same time, we get stuff like Ghost of Tsushima, something new, not a part 2 or a part 10 in an ongoing franchise. We got more indie games, trying new things. They're still keeping on, you know. And I'd love to get into more of that. So that's part of why I made Tabletop Cinema. I want to get into all these different games, these genres, and really set a schedule, because I end up getting trapped in one game and I never get to progress in the other. So this is a way for me as well to clear my backlog and share these stories and experience it myself. So yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, the story moments. One thing that kind of took me out of the game, and this is a personal preference, is the fact that almost every single interaction with your uncle, he can't help but say the word, he can't help but throw the word honor at you. Like every other sentence, your uncle talks about honor. Honor. What about your honor? Your honor, Jin. No, that is not honorable. No, we fight honorably. No, samurai are honorable. Ghost is not honorable. Honor, Jin. Honor. It's kind of like Chaos from in the Chaos trailer. The Final Fantasy, you gotta kill Chaos. Which, I guess it is such a huge blowback from that their next trailer had no mention of Chaos at all. Point is, yeah, I had to kind of get used to that. But it does bring up a valid question of like, how far is too far? And I appreciated those moments of his descent, of Jin Sakai's descent into becoming the Ghost. Because they definitely here in this point of history, the Mongols are the invaders, right? And throughout this, we're playing from the perspective of the samurai. And well, obviously, it's natural for them to like villainize and consider the invaders as they're the villains. But it brings in that question as well, like what methods are acceptable? What is really, when you're at war, when your home is under siege, when an empire is trying to colonize you, and put you under the yoke or bring you into the empire. You're fighting for your home. How far is too far? Uh, what happened last episode? Yeah, yeah. We also have to take perspective that this was definitely researched, but it's also written from a Western perspective. But I do know about the whole honor thing. The thing is, as someone who I'm not Japanese, but similarly we have how do you say, from the Philippines, family is also super important. You can't avoid stuff like that. The Dovetailer actually had this really great thread going on Twitter, and she was asking people basically about, from your cultures, what stories are kind of prevalent, or what elements of stories, and a lot of really fascinating answers. Like, for example, from our perspective, a lot of our stories are all about, like, family and what's the term for it, but it's that feeling of owing something to someone, especially an elder, like for what they've done to you. So it's for you, for what they've done for you. For example, they raised you, they supported you, they treated you right, and we're culturally primed to feel like we owe them and we're obligated to them. Their obligation. So obligation, not severing family ties, and all sorts of things. That's what comes to the forefront for a lot of our stories. So I truly understand from this perspective about how Jin Sakai really disappointed his elders. He disappointed his uncle. He disappointed his ancestors, his upbringing, because it's very important in a lot of Asian families. It's not so easy for us to just divorce ourselves from our heritage and from our family, literally from our family. No matter how bad it gets, it's also, as terrible as it sounds, it's not easy for a lot of people to get away from, for example, toxic and abusive family members, or family members who are just straight up not being a positive influence for the family. There's always this feeling at the back of their heads that we have to respect tradition. And as a Chinese Filipino, we also have the respect of, respect our tradition, respect our customs. Don't forget them. So that's how I'm relating to Jin Sakai here. So that. But I'm talking about in terms of how it is written into it. And I understand the use of honor here is very important. But for me, the way he's throwing it around, and I guess we're supposed to know this, or I think it's the writer's intent for us to really define it. They only mentioned his code once, I believe, during the training montage. And even then, they were kind of general in terms. I think that is the writer's intent. That, what is honor? That is a big question here. What is honor? What is honorable? So did Jin Sakai go too far when he poisoned an entire camp of Mongols? Because that's what set his uncle off. That's what made his uncle disown him in a way. And he was actually imprisoned for that, to be sent to the shogun. Yeah. So that's what I'm excited to find out. I feel like this is the time. This is what I've been waiting for in the game. Actually, I was waiting for Jin to go too far and to re-clash with that code. Because as frustrated as I was in terms of at least the uncle's dialogue, in terms of just throwing honor around without really explaining what he expects of Jin, we just have to assume that Jin already knows what it means when his uncle tells him to return to his honorable ways and his samurai roots. I get that. So the game definitely is now making us question, did Jin go too far? Is this right? Should he answer for his crimes? Was poisoning an entire camp of these people who have been proven time and time again, at least in the context of this narrative, to be slavers and killers and murderers, and they don't fight fair? It's an age-old question. If your enemy doesn't fight fair, what do you resort to? So, of course, Jin's mentality is, the reason why he embarked on this path, before we get into it, The reason why I'm not in the game yet because once I click continue, it's gonna go right into the story and we're gonna get some dialogue from Kenji breaking us out of prison. But why Jin decided on that was his uncle's whole battle strategy was to just throw as many bodies as he could at the enemy gates. He tried it the first time, a whole company was destroyed. And the uncle decided, all right, we're gonna send more bodies tomorrow. We're gonna do it the samurai way. We're gonna enact justice in the open and just assault the gates. But Jin actually discovered that the gates were rigged with more explosives, and the body count would have skyrocketed even more. And the thing is, Jin and his uncle want the same thing. I am going to do the I am going to do the Iki Island. Yeah, I am going through it after the main story. So what we're about to see, chat, is that the uncle and Jin want the same thing. They all want the same thing. They want to fight off the invaders and reclaim their home. It's their methods that differ. So you be the judge if this is the fate that Jin Sakai deserves. Because objectively, tactically, he was able to reclaim the castle with 0 casualties on their end. But how he did it was to poison the milk supply of the Mongols and resort to subterfuge and assassination, which was considered dishonorable in his uncle's eyes, which actually pushed his uncle to disown him, condemn him, put him in prison to be ready to be shipped off to the shogun for judgment. And we'll never get to know what I don't know if we'll ever find out how the shogun will look at Jin's actions, because right now our good friend Kenji is breaking us out. Thank you once again, Streamlabs. Stream Beats. Oh, well, we're using Streamlabs, so yeah, I'm using Streamlabs. But thank you, Stream Beats, again for providing royalty-free music every time for our intro and just chatting tunes with. Thank you so much for that. I've noticed the mask is now hanging on the katana. I'm not sure how else this menu will develop, but yeah, I'm excited to get back into it. Iki Island, I'm gonna be doing that. I'm not sure how much left is in the game. I think we're in Act 3 now, so I guess we're in the last portion of the story in terms of the main story. We still have to wrap up a few things. For example, Sensei Ishikawa and his hunt for Tomoe. I believe Lady Adachi also has some issues to be resolved. Let's get to it. We're gonna break out of prison. Yep.
Your horse is at the outer stables. A servant told me about a damaged fence near the gate. You can slip out that way. I'll distract the men outside. But I don't want to be here when they find out you're gone.
Thank you, Kenji.
Oh, sorry, I read that wrongly. I believe I'm going to do Ikishima. Yeah, after the main story. I tried to Google it, like when to do Ikishima story. You played through it twice. Do you think Ikishima's best saved for after the main story? Because I from what I gathered, some people were saying there are references in Ikishima that kind of spoil the main story, or at least assume that the main story already happened. Alright, so here it is, my little prison. We're going to face judgment for our war crimes. Is this really the right thing to do? Our allies still stand by the ghost. The ghost was a legend Yuna concocted, and it's grown quite considerably since then. The common folk look up to us, but according to our uncle, and he's right in that this is probably like a legacy of fear. The enemy and our own people fear the ghost. They've kind of made it clear with their interactions with the common folk and other people in the game. But for other people as well, they see the ghost as a hero and a liberator. So this is the power of stories, the power of legends, the power of folk tales, and the power of oral tradition. How will we be remembered? We can't. Are these guys like playing a board game? Outright spoil the game. Got it. Anyway, thank you, Kenji. We're gonna get out of here now.
Rumor is he'll be giving a speech outside the main keep tonight.
Is it safe?
Let's hope so.
The way he killed them. He's not human.
That's what they keep saying about me. I'm not human. Yuna.
You're the ghost.
Oh no, peasant.
Please.
There's a damaged fence just ahead, my lord. I'm sure you can get out that way.
Thank you.
Don't worry. We're all with you.
Yeah, they're helping us. Thank you. After a long just chatting session, Sanguine. The Meownagers. Welcome back to the stream, Sanguine. We actually just started. We're having a long chat about games and everything. The funny thing about Passion, it's like a contest always. Whenever I pet Passion, Passion's like, no, I groom you. Right. Thank you for redeeming that. The cats appreciate your contribution. But now, return to escaping it. And Sanguine, since you're here... yeah, I think that's what Passion's trying to do. I don't know if she's saying I'm dirty or whatever, but... yeah, while you're here, Sanguine... do you think Jin went too far? You were there last time when he poisoned the entire Mongol encampment. 0 casualties on our end. But now, the people are breaking us free. Am I even supposed to be here? Slippery slope, Sanguine.
Find anything useful?
Just trash the Mongols left behind.
Yeah, you know, it's a whole edgy narrative about, like, your descent. It's basically he's joined the dark side, yada yada. There are better ways and all that. But I'm interested to see where they're going to take the narrative now. I think that's the most telling point in the narrative right now for me. How they're going to frame Jin Sakai's actions. Because I have fallen into the trap of, like, you're an invader, you die. No matter what happens, you die. I feel like I'm going the wrong way. Yes, I am. Wait, am I? Right, I have to get across. But... ah, high ground, maybe. No, crawl through. We're calling it, right, Sanguine? We're calling the uncle as one of the people we have to duel at some point. I'm calling that now.
He wielded the combined might of 5 clans, then lost it all in one battle. Commodore Beat was unfortunate, but look what he's accomplished since. A few peasants, a couple of old warriors, and an unruly nephew. It's true, Lord Shimura has king now. The Khan slipped through his fingers, and Lord Sakai threatens the very peace we fight for. If Lord Shimura doesn't turn this around soon, Clan Oka will be forced to finish this fight.
Very well. Good old action adventure squeeze through space.
Sora.
Oh no, Sora.
Lord Sakai escaped!
Search everywhere!
Oh shit.
Should we help search, my lord?
Oh, see, some of them are with us. The samurai was like, no, don't help searching. Damn.
Anyone seen him? He may have run north. You two, on your horses. The rest of you, man the gate. How did he get loose?
Fine, we have no honor. And that kind of thinking, right? We can go all like, but what I did saved hundreds. How far is he willing to go? How do I drop down again? Ah, ladder. Sora, let's get out of here. Yeah, that is a question we're asking ourselves. Never too late to ask that question. Should you treat your enemies as they treat you in war? In the context of this war, where they're actively trying to shank you in the back. Yep, that is a very Anakin moment.
There he is! On the
Oh.
horse. Stop it!
No! You shot my horse!
Get him forward!
No, Sora!
Forgive me, Sora. We have to reach Ken. Yuna's waiting for us.
Oh no, if they kill off Sora, oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty much what happens, Sanguine. Oh my god, if they kill off Sora, that's it. I don't care about these questions anymore. Everyone dies. Oh, the shot, chat. No, Sora. No. Please don't. Please don't die. No. No. You're running him. He's tired. He needs rest. No.
I'm sorry I couldn't protect you.
I didn't even cry when Taka died. They killed Sora. Sora's dead. Why would they do that? I'm gonna kill the Khan. I'm gonna kill everyone. You know, I don't care anymore. Everyone dies. That wasn't even the Mongols' fault. Yeah, screw that. they killed Sora. They were actively trying to kill Sora. Go for the horse, they said. Oh, they're all dead. They're all gonna die. I swear to God.
Mongols. Yuna.
Oh shit, and things get worse. I'm loving the landscape
Everything.
though. I guess we're approaching winter
No
now.
chance Yuna's alive.
Oh man. This was on me because I was treating Sora like my own roach. You know, the irreplaceable. You know, I know Geralt, like every horse he names Roach. The point is, I grew attached to Sora. I kept, whenever I whistled for Sora, I'd actually say it literally on stream. Like, I'd call Sora by name. And it just slowly got me attached to Sora. They killed my freaking horse. So, our own people killed my horse. And the invaders burned down this village. We're stuck in between.
You said Yuna was at the sacred tree. No weapons. I'll have to stay hidden.
Winter has come, freezing the tears in my face. This is no time for tears, but for vengeance. I am vengeance. Oh, but I can't fight. Yeah, they killed Sora. The whole world is wrong.
A storm's coming. Better find Yuna soon.
Sacred tree. That looks like a sacred tree, doesn't it? Oh, shit. I was looking at... Okay. Tales of Arise. I've never played the Tales series, but I do hear Tales of Arise is pretty good. But I really need to stop starting games. Because, for example, I started on Persona 4 Golden. I haven't been able to finish it yet. How do you do the breath thing again? Oh, touchpad. Where am I? This isn't... I don't think this is the right way. Ah, the sacred tree. Awkward. Where am I supposed to go? Ah, pampas grass. Stay away. Wait, it's that good? Man, I'm missing out. Okay, a personal preference for me, I love winterscapes. I don't know why. I like snowy environments. I thought I'd get tired of it after Skyrim, but... Hey. This is a very sad, somber landscape. I think a few of my friends like binge Tales, as in they just played it non-stop until completion. Do you think it's a good entry point into the Tales series? But I still like it, having no knowledge of other... Oh, shit. Honestly, guys, this is just the lowest point for Jin. This is the part in the story where he's pushed to the lowest point.
Yuna's not here. But these people... The Mongols must have rounded them up. but no wounds.
What? Blood but no wounds. Did... Poison? Did they use their own methods against us? Is this a cycle of violence?
Blood poured from his mouth. Smells like wolfsbane. The Mongols learned how to make my poison. Now they're using it against us.
Well...
Mongols! They're turning!
Ow! Ow! They just tore that arrow from his... Oh shit!
Me.
This is your...
I can lose them in the storm.
This is... Yeah, this is just... Yep, they're just using their own methods against us. I mean, this is on us.
Come on! Stupid horse!
Did Auntie...
Yuna? Is that you?
Did Yuriko give us the antidote? I don't remember. Yuna saved us again.
I wasn't sure you'd wake up.
I thought I wouldn't.
How did you
The
cure me?
Mongols used my own poison on me.
How did they get it?
I don't know. But they learned how to make it themselves.
They must have tested it on the people of Qin. Before they burned the town, I saw families lying in pools of blood.
There's only one way to end this. Kill Khotan Khan.
He's taken his army to a stronghold on the coast, Port Izmi.
We will need a staging camp somewhere close.
I'll see what I can find. Your equipment's in that chest. Meet me by the lookout tower when you're ready.
Or they could have just... I don't know. Well, I did poison their milk. Did they reverse engineer it somehow? Or is it just simply... They're just using their own poison, they learned it themselves, and this is just poetic justice?
Now to find Yuna.
Meet Yuna near the lookout tower. Okay, we're back at it. That is a pretty lengthy story sequence. A lot of stuff happened. Now it's winter. I'm pretty sure they have their own methods of... Well, I don't know, man. Because Yuriko is the only one who
I
really
think I
knew.
found a better hideout. Climb up and look toward the mountain.
I do appreciate that they've given her first now, because it is winter. Dress for the occasion. Alright, so it's a standalone Tales. Got it. So it's kind of like the Final Fantasy series. Oh, no problem. Technologically and magically. Oh, 3 centuries ago. Okay, kind of like a precursor thing going on. Ugh, slaves to create agile energy. Human batteries. Well, that's always a fun trope. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, that sounds like an interesting premise.
A hideout. Somewhere by the mountain. Jogaku's pagoda. Sheltered, defensible, and in striking distance of the Khan's stronghold.
There's only one problem. The Mongols have it.
We can fix that.
Let's get the horses.
I owe Yuna 2 lives.
happened to your mount?
When I escaped, the castle guards fired on us. They killed Sora.
I'm sorry. These will have to do, for now.
Ain't gonna be the same. The concept of using human batteries, by the way, that... I remember this comic called Coda. It is a very subversive... You know, they take the tropes of, you know, a typical tabletop RPG game, fantasy, Dungeons and Dragons. They take that, turn it into a Mad Max style fever dream of subversive tropes. And same thing. Just like the Matrix as well, human batteries. For in this case, for magic, they had like elves, like chained up elves, and was it an elf? Basically, just magical beings they chain up. And one of the really sick parts is that this person, since he has innate regeneration, they just cut off bits of him, like meat, and then he regenerates. But they use those bits to create, you know, the magical concoctions. Pretty messed up. Yeah. If you are interested in a local, in a Philippine setting of it, which deals with a colonial government and in a cyberpunk setting using magical people as human batteries, Sword Queen Games wrote something called Balikbayan. Other settings I'd love to explore. So it can probably get pretty dark. Sounds like something I'd like to try.
Are those people from Kin?
I don't know. The Mongols burned a lot of towns.
If they'd only pursued their army instead of fighting each other.
Why did you surrender to your uncle?
To stop a civil war.
If I didn't give myself up, everyone who followed me would have attacked the samurai. And Lord Shimura. It would have been a massacre. Just like the Khan wanted.
Your uncle played right into his hands.
He was backed into a corner. By the Mongols, by me, by his duty to the Shogun. We can only win this war if we stand together.
Shimura's a fool for turning against you.
He wanted me to be his son. I destroyed his dream.
By doing the right thing.
Being right doesn't always make things better.
Tell that to the people you saved.
Hmm.
If we kill the Khan and drive the Mongols out, is there a chance your uncle will forgive you?
I hope so.
When I was young, Lord Shimura became my father, my sensei, my entire world. I never wanted to disappoint him. I have to hope we can heal this wound. Whatever happens, his forgiveness won't change who I am.
He thinks I corrupted you.
I made my own choices. Even knowing what they've cost me, I'd make them again. Even if the Shogun brands me as a traitor.
Well, at least Jin is resolute. I think we had this discussion before, Sanguine. Like, the bias for or against such mediums. It's what we grew up with. If you take apart Western narratives as well, we have to decentralize that because we're considering that, for example, Dragon Age and the like are... Yeah, it's hard to argue taste, but I totally get that some people can't really jive with anime aesthetic. But if you objectively tear apart like Western narratives as well, everything is a remix. All stories, the thing we're playing now, as much as I love it, if you break it down into tropes and archetypes and formulas, it's all there, laid bare. It's all about how we put it together. And I understand that some people don't really like how some cultures tend to tell stories, which is a personal preference. But definitely, games-wise, JRPGs in my experience have definitely been more linear, just like Izzy said. They are, yeah. moral quandaries and choices. Yeah, and for the JRPGs were more or less they didn't really have many dialogue options. It is just you play and experience the story. Pretty much like this actually, what we're playing now. But for example, the days of like, you know, BioWare Black Isle with Fallout, Baldur's Gate, Western RPGs, they were more about, you know, personal freedom and player choice. The Ultima series, immersive sims.
We're close to Jogaku Temple.
There's a fishing camp on the lake. We could scout the temple grounds from it.
Leave the horses here. We'll go in on foot.
This ain't Sora, man. I miss Sora. Of all the characters they had to kill off, they killed off my horse, and that's what
Woods
made me
here,
cry.
thick. Good cover.
For us and the Mongols.
The safest approach to the temple might be over open ground.
Or frozen lake.
Yeah, I remember telling Sanguine it's a long time ago that you're gonna like stuff like Nier Automata. Seems like it's right up your alley in terms of theme.
A signal cannon.
To alert the temple of an attack.
They have prisoners.
They'll freeze to death.
We'll free them. Clear the fishing village. Then we take the temple.
Okay, give us some pampas grass. And we're back at it. Hope I don't remember. Hope I remember how to play.
Negium Harsinta, Yasambe.
Shit.
Tengdwing, Hanus.
Crap! Hope no one heard that. Holy shit. Drakengard 1. Oh man. Yeah, I never played the games before that, but Drakengard was like another world, right? And then eventually we end up in the Nier Automata world. Like Drakengard was our world. And there's some portal or whatever. I'm not familiar with that. The funny thing is, Yoko Taro said it's like, I didn't want my games to be sad. It's like, come on. Yeah. Okay, I think we're clear.
Here, you. And you speak.
Do I have enough time to get out and chain assassinate? Let's try it.
Then Negum Ben.
Nice. Oh no, you are the villain. Ah, right. Yoko Taro and his ending A to E. That's what we get, yeah. Multiple endings.
Who cares how we killed the Mongols? They've done worse to us.
It's that line of thinking, right? War.
They were working us to death.
You're free now.
That's everyone here.
The temple will have stronger defenses. We can't rush in.
Let's see what we're dealing with.
Hey, explosive Barrels.
Archers watching the lake.
They'll see us coming. Pick us off.
Let's bring them to us.
How?
Fire the signal cannon. Lure them onto the ice.
Oh.
Then divide and conquer.
With conveniently located explosive barrels.
They left explosives on the ice. We can use that against them. Keep watch. I'll draw them out.
I still find it so cute how, as gamers, the visual language of red barrels is kind of like a universal thing. Like, whenever you see a red barrel in a game and you can shoot at it, you tend to be like, oh, you tend to think already, that is probably going to explode. And usually it does. Even though it's against any kind of... Even though it's not supposed to be like that. We just expect red barrels to explode. That's how it is.
That will get their attention. Better get back to you now. Let's take them.
Whoever left these explosive barrels out in the lake is gonna lose his job. Yuna, get out of there. Is there friendly fire? I love this environment, man.
Let's get to the pagoda.
Yeah, there was a game that did that because, you know, again, it's as gamers we're expecting red barrels to explode. So, you know, it's cheeky of the developers to go like, nah, this red barrel won't explode. A little Easter egg. Now what, Yuna? Scout the grounds of Jogaku Temple. Did I do all the duels with the straw hats? Was I able to do that? Let me check. Activities. What? We have 2 duels we haven't done yet. I did all the side activities for Act 2. But I guess we're stuck in narrative mode right now, so we can't... Is this a point of no return? I love the duels. I probably didn't find the other 2, but I did do all the duels that came up on our map. Well, I'll definitely get to the duels at some point. I love those. I wish there were more duels. But I guess we're at the point of no return, or at least a story-heavy moment where... I guess I kind of appreciate that, because in other open world games, there really is no sense of urgency to a lot of the main quests. For example, Skyrim, where the world's about to end, but there's no sense of urgency, so you end up doing side quests for 100 hours, and you don't feel like it's important anymore, the main quest. Like, sure, I appreciate that kind of game as well, but sometimes you just want a little push forward and to say that, you know, right now is not the time to be traveling back because it does not make sense narratively.
We need to plan our attack carefully.
That waterfall's frozen. We could climb it, go over the back wall.
There are still Straw Hat survivors. Maybe I could say that some of them want to avenge Ryuzo. Yeah, I know, like, Breath of the Wild is like 10 over 10 all over. But I gotta admit, I didn't get to finish it. Because I ended up meandering. I meandered for like 80 hours. And I got distracted by other games. I will play it before Breath of the Wild 2 though. But I will make it a point to kind of stick to the quests or what the semblance of the quest line. Standoff? No. It's a double-edged thing. Like, I do love freedom in my games, but I do fall off. I don't finish open world games as much, or hell, even really long games like 100-hour computer RPGs. It's been so long since I actually finished one.
Gods. Make him suffer, and they'll run.
Where's the warlord? I could do the ghost stance thing if I assassinate the warlord, right? And terrify them and get into the ghost stance. Let's do this. Ah! Run! The ghost has come for your heads. I just love the environment, chat. The snow, the leaves, the wind, everything. Yeah, definitely, I agree. So in Ghost of Tsushima's case, I like the balance. Like, it is open world, but it's not too open. Which is what I enjoy about Ghost of Tsushima right now.
It's over. You're safe.
We thought we'd die as slaves.
They can't hurt you now.
And the important thing is that the overworld activities, they aren't as much of a chore as it was, for example, in like for me in a Ubisoft game. Like the side activities, you can knock them off. There aren't too many of them. It's not too overwhelming. And they give you a lot in return. Like, you want to do it because you get more resolve, you get more tools, everything. Charms. But they don't take you like 2 hours to do. Yeah, I know that is a touchy subject. Like, I also notice here the writers, they actually, if they can, they use the word invaders instead of Mongols. And I'm kind of actually, it actually made me think about our whole, an entire generation of video games, which is about, you know, World War II from the Allies' perspective. I remember reading a thread about, like, someone asked this on Reddit, I believe. They were asking, hello fellow Mongolians, how do you feel when you play this game? And of course, usually the common answer is, yeah, this is the point in time when, you know, Mongols, our ancestors did invade Tsushima and blah blah blah, war atrocities, and we know this is a game, it's a historical fact, we can't forget it, we also don't condone it, etc, etc. But they also brought up an interesting point, a similarity with how, you know, Germans play World War II games. And it's the same thing. Like, you don't forget history, but you also have to be aware that, you know, we're playing these games for fun and enjoyment. And how does that, how can you reconcile that with the actual stuff that happened historically? So it's about finding your boundaries and really figuring out how far you're going to push or what kind of story you're trying to tell. For example, in the World War II parts, they make it clear that you're killing the bad guys, right? You're not killing Germans, you're killing Nazis. In this case,
Sometimes I fear the fighting will
the Mongols invaded, they talk about that, but here you're killing invaders. So they try to frame it like that. And with a healthy dose of respect, definitely this was a terrible time in history. It's just being aware of these stories critically, and that this is fiction. Well, this is historical fiction, and you have to understand the biases that went into this. It's hard, but this is entertainment we consume, and it's the age-old question of like, oh, video games make people violent, or how come shooting people is entertainment, or killing people, there's so much violence, etc. Honestly, it's something to untangle. I grew up with video games. I'm cutting down people left and right here. I just massacred an entire contingent of Mongols right now, and yeah. The most recent World War II game I played was Battlefield 5. They played it. There was a mission there of a tank commander. He was not a Nazi. And he actually condemned his own people for it. And he disobeyed orders and fought. Now, the tragic story there was he was still gunned down by the Allies and everything. Because the really sad part was his second in the tank, in part of his tank crew, was a young, impressionable boy, Hitler Youth. And you could tell the words he was spouting, telling the old man, "You're a traitor to our country," and the likes and stuff like that. It was such a, I don't know, like Battlefield 5 has its faults, but I kind of appreciated that line, that mission, because it's like this person was indoctrinated growing up, and you're playing the old man who's just tired, and the senselessness of it all, the violence all around you, and you have a choice whether to continue that, and you chose to stand down and not follow, and you died for it. Was it worth it? Like, no one is gonna hear about this guy who fought against his own people. So it's one of those things. It's about a collective effort to change history. It's never just one person.
I hope the ghost keeps all our temples safe.
And always just be aware of that. Like, the Third Reich was the Third Reich. Not all of them were Nazis. Definitely condemn the hell out of their actions. But a more nuanced perspective is always appreciated. But at the same time, taking that part of history and commodifying it into games was a very touchy thing. And I was always curious about it. And the topic came up again when someone asked, a Mongolian asked his fellow Mongolians, these were Ghost of Tsushima fans. These were Ghost of Tsushima fans. They loved the game. But they were saying like, yeah, it's kind of weird, like understanding what the enemy's saying, and we're slaughtering our own people, our own ancestors. But yeah, it's historical fantasy. This happened. You can't forget that. Because for me, a bigger crime would be to erase everything that happened and to forget. What's that term? Time and forgetfulness. Basically, time and forgetfulness enables bad actors even more than remembering and bringing the problematic problems up. Problematic problems. You get what I mean?
The Mongols' reliance on intelligence.
That's why you have to be wary of people who love using, for example, in World War II reenactments or war games. For people who love playing as armies which, are basically tyrannical and all that, they have to understand, of course, you will understand. This is fiction. This is a game. We're not condoning any of this in real life. Know your limits. So, do I feel bad about slaughtering all these people? Yes, I do. Like, as an empathetic gamer, I enjoy the gameplay, but I don't particularly relish in the massacre. Right? Yeah, and in movies, and still, history was written by the victors. Those movies are still written from the perspective of the victors. I have not, personally, I have not myself, I have not consumed a lot of, I can stand to consume more media from other perspectives to broaden my perspectives and horizons and understand things a bit more. But back to it. Interestingly enough,
Leo himself brought the Mongols to Tsushima.
this is historical fiction. We do know that the initial invasion of Tsushima was a failure. So we're spoiled in that respect. But them taking liberties with the Ghost, focusing on Jin Sakai's story, making it a bit more personal in terms of the narrative, and as well highlighting the fact there was a whole arc here.
Baby. Both of them huddled together.
Yeah, it's terrible. But there was also a whole segment here where you were fighting against your own people because your own people are not... You're not saints. We're all sinners, basically.
No Mongols. Solid walls. I think we'll be safe here. Hey. Your uncle chose his path.
And I chose mine. Khotun studied Lord Shimura's tactics. He knows how to break an army of samurai. But he doesn't know how to defend against us.
We'll make him hurt. For Taka.
For everyone.
Oh god, I haven't been spending my technique points. Hell yeah. Does this mean we're reaching the end game? I feel like we're reaching the end game. Seems we are. Like, this is just the main quest now. Kill the Khan. Wolves at the gates. Yuna and I secured a staging camp at Jogaku Temple. The paths into Toyotama are blocked, and we'll need reinforcements if we're going to take the fight to the Khan. I should speak with Yuna at Jogaku Temple to plan our next attack. Right, we still have our allies. We still have Ishikawa, Adachi. They've all expressed their support for the Ghost. So I guess we're going to find them now. I rarely use my bow in combat, so I'm not going to go for that. Let's flesh out our stances. I also rarely use moon stance. Spear defenses, yeah, spear use is freaking annoying. Automatically parry spear attacks during any wind stance attack. Yeah, this will be... Ooh, so it's like an active parry. Nice. Enemies thrown by a typhoon kick, boom, are knocked down. Awesome. And let's start completing this. Whirlwind strikes are flashy. A man sheltering at Jogaku Temple wants to speak with me. I'll find out why. Okay. These ones I tend to play off stream. The ones that aren't attached to characters. But these ones... Oh, Yuriko Tales was sad. What gets to me are really tales of the elderly and the problems that they go through, especially if it deals with Alzheimer's or dementia. Since I personally experienced such a thing with my grandparents in real life, which is what happened with Yuriko. Yeah, I take that back. Sora was a really sad moment, but Yuriko's tale was also really sad for me. These ones I play on stream, the ones attached to supporting cast. These ones, I'll be playing them off stream. So let's get back to it. Wolves at the gates.
Jin, over here.
Is this the ghost mask? This isn't the ghost mask. Oh, this is the ghost mask. We can upgrade our ghost armor. Guardian Scowl, created for wrathful guardians of Tsushima. Where is an armor when I need one?
Still under my fingernails.
I've got you.
I lost what? I was looking at chat. Oh, he's inside.
Defeating the Mongols is just the first step. Ghost fights.
How is your armor fitting, my lord?
I heard he got very angry because too many Ashigaru fighters died taking Castle Shimura.
Right. He defied the Jito to protect people like us. When he becomes Jito, our lives will change for the better.
What if the ghost doesn't become Jito?
After all he's done, the Shogun will have to reward him.
Sanzu River sounds nice right about now.
Wait, so these people, I know it's gossip and hearsay, but the Shogun condemned my uncle for all the
My
deaths?
armor will dull the Mongols' weapons. Your protection is my duty.
Interesting. Yes.
Much better protection.
I gotta say as well, good. Not only is this filling my... I always wanted another Tenchu game. And again, this is the closest we're gonna get. I just love it. I really hope they keep Ghost of Tsushima up.
You need more to make these improvements.
I can tell it's gonna be a big franchise moving forward.
You honor me with your confidence, my lord.
Alright, so all the upgrades we can purchase.
Jin, over here. We could use the old road from Omi up through Fort Kaminodake. Only problem is it's held by Mongols. You need help to drive them out. I know some hunters camped on Mount Sago. Their leader's named Takashi.
Friend of yours?
No, but he'll do anything I ask, and his men are good archers. While you're meeting them, I'll slip through your uncle's castle. Meet our friends in Omi.
Lead them to strike the fort from the south. I'll attack from the north, with your hunter friends.
You think it'll work?
Yes.
Has to work.
Be careful, you know.
You too.
And we're back to the world. Okay, we need to find... Reunite with our allies, kill the Khan. Can I teleport here? Loyal friend's grave. Oh man. It is closer to our objective. Let's visit Sora again. You are at the heart of this act, Sora. A fast travel point in the middle of this island. I will avenge you. Here's my new horse, by the way, Sora. Never gonna be the same. Oh.
Stand and fight!
These guys look kitted up. Whoa.
Alternate!
Oh man, this place. It's like no man's land.
Hold still.
You gave the Mongols what they deserved at Lord Shimura's castle, my lord. They killed my whole family, my lord.
I'm so sorry. Where did it happen?
The crossroads. They stop everyone. If you're too weak to be their slave, they kill you.
Go and mourn your family. Leave the Mongols to me.
Shit. Whoa, what the? Are they firing? Are they actively firing siege weapons? You know, very much like the winter theme, it is a time of death and rebirth, and we have to keep holding on.
Mongols are using that siege weapon.
Holding on hope. And eventually, things will grow again. That's going down. I don't even have a name for you, horsey. Just a random note. Sago in our country is basically like boba. The one boba you find in milk tea, the pearls. Is this a shrine? To which kami? Can't read it. Is it because of the boar? Oh, it is. Okay. Predator hides. Oh. Hello.
Face me!
The ghost is alive and well. Last one. I also noticed that dismemberment happens in Ghost Dance. It's pretty savage. These torii gates lead to Crane Mountain Shrine, sanctuary of Ikazuchi no Kami, Kami of Lightning. Oh, what? How come it didn't appear in my map?
Some say they know every secret on this island. I wonder where it's going.
Where are you taking me? Pillar of Honor. Sweep your enemies aside with a righteous fury. Still a fan of the original. Oh. What the? Is it? Where the heck? Ah, it's an investigation area. Okay. Takeshi's camp. You give him a castle. There's a shrine. Wait, where was the camp? Ah, there it is. I could just fast travel to it, but what? Where did I miss it? Is it on top? I want to get there manually first before fast traveling. Ah, there he is. Hello? In traditional RPG fashion, let's loot the place first.
You're welcome at our campfire, my lord.
Thank you.
Would you like to see what I have?
Now that I've raided your camp, let us speak.
Pretty sure the Oga samurai
Are you Takeshi?
You know my name?
I'm Jin Sakai. Yuna sent me.
She's alive? Where is she?
The Mongols blocked the pass to Omi. I have to open the way and I can't do it alone. Yuna told me you can help.
Sounds dangerous.
I thought you were an expert hunter. Leader of the best archers in the prefecture.
Is that what Yuna told you?
She thinks you care enough to fight. Is she wrong?
About me? No. But my people need a reason to risk their lives.
I smell a side quest coming.
It's going to be a cold winter. Why spend it on a mountainside hunting squirrel when you can live in a warm fort?
If we can stay till spring, we're in.
You have a deal.
This won't be like hunting wild boar. Come over here and you'll see.
If Lord Shimura doesn't see him here, the Shogun will.
What are we looking at?
Mongol archers guard the gate. Patrols ride in and out all day.
If we can get in from this side, Yuna and the rest of my friends will hit them from the south.
Yuna will be there? All right.
The fort was built around the cliffs. We can use them to get inside.
Woodcutter camp. Supplied lumber to the fort. Haven't seen anyone there since the Mongols showed up. How good are you at climbing?
Better than average.
Pretty good. Yes. Okay. Time to take another fort. It's another day in Jin Sakai's life. Except we've lost everything at this point. Except our friends. Alright, let's ride. I see a bear. Predator hides. Oh shit. Oh my god. Ah! You know, good use of your coin, Sanguine. The horse's name shall be Roach from now on. I'm curious, what is roach in Japanese? I hope I'm not like Gokiburi. I need to translate cockroach. Gokiburi. Goki? Alright, fine. You redeemed the reward. It's a Roach-kun. Roach-kun. Here, Roach. Love this environment. And I'm also amazed at how they make the place still feel huge and expansive with large distances. Oh my god, I should not... Guys, don't talk while driving. I mean, don't text and drive. Yeah, run, bastard. Oh no, Izzy, I have not. Octopath Traveler, Bravely... Octopath Traveler was there... It's there in the list alongside Bravely Default and Bravely Default 2. I never got to finish those games. Yeah, another friend was also telling me, you gotta play Octopath Traveler. It's just like series, you know, people keep saying, yo, you gotta watch this, you gotta play this. And I'd love to. It's just, God,
all right.
I'm just so terrible at time management. The stream is helping though. I'm able to get through more games now.
There's no way I can repay you for this, Lord Sakai.
You don't have to. Just tell me. How did they capture you?
I was traveling the roads, looking for help. But I can't see well at night. Didn't see the Mongols camped along the path until it was too late.
If they're still there, I'll take care of them. Go. You're free.
Yeah, I hear a lot of good things about Octopath. Sanguine and Frostpunk. I just played the first scenario, like the original scenario of Frostpunk. That is intense, man. When the storm came, I was like clenching so hard. It was so intense, and I'm not proud of the things I did in Frostpunk, but I did make it out alive.
Thank you.
The weight of leadership, indeed. I've been meaning to try the other scenarios, but, you know, there's just too much to play. loot the place first. Oh shit, wrong place. There we go. I saw something out here as well. Linen. Alright. Here, Roach. Modern Japanese games. Okay, that's the genre you're in right now. Why couldn't I? Well, now you're afraid. After stabbing me in the gut. You have supplies here? There we go. And we can upgrade our armor. Nice. Let's travel to the fort and get this done. Oh, speaking of which,
time to head for the woodcutter camp.
Is your third playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima going to be in Japanese? Or did you play it in Japanese? Meet Takeshi at the lumber camp. Here it is.
We made the climb, but it took hours. We sit up here much longer, the Mongols are sure to see us.
Back away from the edge. I'll be right up.
Sure you will.
Well, our good friend Taka, rest in peace, gave us a tool for the job. Okay, wait, now I'm embarrassing myself. I can't find a grapple point. You know, just a sec, okay? There it is. Check this out.
Did you see that? Shut. Yuna's got some interesting friends.
Let's plan our attack.
Oh man, I cut off the dialogue. Oh, that sucks. I hate cutting off dialogue by accident. That's why in these kinds of games, in an open world game, once you start talking, I tend to just freeze. Because I'm worried anything I do is going to interrupt the conversation. Yeah. I honestly started with Japanese first, Izzy. Oh, hey, yeah, Kenna. I enjoyed Kenna. Very visually impressive. Gameplay's just enough to push the story forward. It's fairly straightforward, actually. And I enjoyed the visual aspect of Kenna. Really well put together visually. Music, everything. I try to get into Japanese first. Especially with the director's cut, where they had the lip sync for Japanese. But the lip sync was so off. And I realized why a lot of people actually stuck with English here. Despite wanting to use a Japanese dub. I don't understand Japanese. But for me, since this game was originally recorded in English, all the upper part of the face, the gestures, sync up more with English. There was just something off for me about, I don't know. It's a personal preference. Like, I would, and I also wanted to hear the ambient dialogue. Because there's a lot of ambient dialogue here which isn't subtitled. And as much as I'd love to play with the Japanese dub, I like to hear all conversations. And when they're in the middle of combat, when they're yelling these things, or when I'm eavesdropping on a NPC talking in the background, I want to be able to understand it. Yeah, unfortunately, Izzy, for the pre-rendered cutscenes, they couldn't really do much with the lip sync, and I tried to keep up with the lip sync. It is so weird. I don't know if you're playing the director's cut, but for me, it's like the lower half had a life of its own. And that's what I was talking about, how it is originally recorded in English. Like, it wasn't syncing up with the rest of the face and the body. And it's like, it is more flapping of the mouth. And I looked it up if I wasn't the only one who was thinking that way. And admittedly, it's not as sharp as the English lip sync, unfortunately. Like, it's there, but it's hard to explain. It just didn't work for me. And I was cringing a bit because, in English, but it's grown on me actually, and I am actually appreciating their performances even more. I played through the entire first 3 hours in Japanese. I went back and did everything again in English. And for some reason, I felt more oomph in terms of the performances in English, based on all the movements and the motion capture and the lip syncing. Right, we have hallucination darts.
Archers on that ridge will have a good view of the courtyard.
And plenty of targets.
Yeah, I love that too. And I realize he's so different. Like Zoro as Jin, and Daisuke, that's the voice actor, right? As Jin, who has his likeness right now. They're such different characters. Like the English Jin is so much more calm and reserved, and he has explosive moments, which is Jin as a character. But in the Japanese dub, I just felt like immediately from the beginning, this dude's a badass, man. This is Zoro. This is a spiritual successor.
We'll get on that roof. Control the high ground.
You sound like Yuna.
She was a good teacher.
You men with me. Everyone else get to the ridge.
If the enemy sees me, take them down.
Understood. Good luck.
Let's do this. Are you gonna pass? You look like a sturdy man. No. Let's make you go berserk, my friend. But first, let's take out the sentries. Oh! Thanks. Yeah, exactly my idea. Are they just... Oh shit, they really are... Okay, these people are efficient. Okay, we're gonna open that bear after we take down these people. Poison. Poison. Berserk. Lock. Move. Move. Oh shit, they killed him, man. Throw firecracker. Throw black powder bomb.
Zum Teil Havas nicht ihr Sohn.
Could have assassinated this guy. Oh, that used up all my tools there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is kind of weird. But yeah, they used the likeness in their performance, which is why originally recorded. They got the actual actor, it's his likeness, and everything syncs up with English for Daisuke Tsuji, the English voice actor. Oh man. Oh, that is true, Izzy. I don't think anyone expected to have a game about Tsushima in this way.
What sort of animals would do this?
The Mongol kind. The woodcutters must have resisted them.
Let's kill every bastard in this fort.
Another patrol. We'll ambush them when they come through. Hide.
You heard him. Move. Open fire on my signal.
Poison dart.
Let them get closer.
Now, kill them all!
Sorry, horsey. Shit.
Come on, everyone. Let's get to the bridge. I heard Lord Shimura has an army. The samurai from the Shogun. Why aren't you leading them?
I broke ties with them.
Lord Shimura has his plan to fight the Mongols. And I have mine.
You're on your own. This fort isn't yours to give us.
The Jito is at his castle. He'll have no need of this place until spring.
We'll be gone before he shows up.
You know, honesty.
That
Sometimes
came
it
from the
gets you
southern gate.
places.
Let's see what's happening. Over here.
Yuna!
She did that.
We have to get over there.
Oh.
Let's get a look at the bridge.
I also liked how we saw the explosion before we heard it. Let's get to higher ground. Supply. What's going on?
Mongols sent most of the forces over there. This is our chance.
Good job, Yuna.
If we charge across the bridge, we'll have to deal with that Hwacha quickly.
Could you sneak under the bridge with that hook of yours? Take the Hwacha by surprise?
Sounds like a plan.
I could grapple onto the tree and swing across. There's a way up the cliff on the other side.
If they spot you, we can hit them with arrows. Charge across or sneak over. Either way, it'll be risky. We'll follow your lead, Lord Sakai.
Get your people ready to move.
Let's do this. Shit. Alright, let's make sure we have everything selected. Still get confused with it in terms of equipment switching and stance switching. Okay, we're fine. We're full up on melee stuff. No more hallucination darts. We need more wind chimes. It's never happened before. Lethal poison. Here we go. Hallucination dart. Should have expanded my ammunition pouch. Can I reach the rooftop? No, it's too high. Up. Where's the Huacha? There's the Huacha. I could use it against them. Give them a wake-up call. Let's do it. Watch the sequence. How do we open up? Let's get rid of the archers first. Oh shit, you're in my blind spot.
Reinforcements on the way!
Oh, reinforcements, got it. Oh, hey, 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 hey. You waiting for me? Shit. What am I doing? Oh, what? Okay, you just left me alone. How awkward is this?
We have to help my friends at the gate!
Yarikawa's with us.
Got some friends from Yarikawa.
You're the ghost, but you're supposed to be 10 feet tall.
Keep fighting!
Let's go.
You finally got here! Don't get too close!
Kenji!
Stay safe, Kenji!
I'm trying to get away! It was Masako's idea!
Lady Masako's alive.
Lord Sakai, you're just in time. Keep swinging, Norio.
Norio, it's good to see you again. Lady Masako. The whole family's here.
The fort is ours, my lord.
Is everyone alright?
Never better.
All things considered.
Good to see you, Lord Sakai.
Is it this cold everywhere up here?
You'll get used to it. Take any supplies we need, and prepare to ride for Jogaku. So, you and Takeshi,
That was my old life.
he and his people are more than hunters, aren't they?
Depends on how you look at it.
I told them they can stay and hold the pass for us. But I don't want bandits making trouble for innocent people fleeing the Mongols.
He knows what I'd do to him if they tried.
I think he's been looking forward to seeing you.
He's seen me. We can go now.
Let's get everyone to Jogaku.
I don't
We'll
know.
plan a final attack from there.
It's time for the Khan to die.
I don't know, like Jin's jealous or something. But oh man, that's rough, Izzy. Is it usually this tiring? But I do appreciate you like hanging out and sticking around despite all that. Hopefully this stream is taking your mind off it just a bit. We are now the raging storm. I love it. I may ask, covering every single hotel, how are you covering it? Charm of incineration. Enemy struck by black powder bombs catch on fire and deal burn damage to nearby foes. Wow. And we're done. We're officially fully in Act 3 with side quests. We can finally conclude some of these arcs. Who should we go for first? So Lady Masako is still trying to get after the ones who were responsible for slaughtering her family. That's one quest left for Masako. We can help her out and conclude her arc. And Masako's right here, so perfect. Let's go ahead and help her out. Security, got it. And you're gonna have to cover everything? That sounds like something that ideally shouldn't be done. Stretching it too thin, sounds like. Yeah, man. Hopefully things work out in the future. But it does sound rough, like covering too much ground. I don't know anything about this security, but yeah. It would be more terrifying if that was security in our country. Sadly. Are there any upgrades here? Oh, there's no. We can upgrade our armor before moving on. Let's do that. Gift altar armor. So it's collector gift. Upgrade our armor. Conclude Masako's tale. I think that'll be it for this stream. I think we have enough time for that.
Armor, my lord. I will do my best to make you strong and secure.
Reduces the number of kills needed to enter the ghost dance. Hell yeah.
This will protect you.
All we need is 600 supplies. And we'll max out our ghost armor.
You have my thanks.
Do you need a new quiver or satchel?
Yeah, definitely the vaccine is a huge boost in confidence. The sad reality is in our country, in fact, for me, the vaccine has given me some measure of peace of mind, but if and when you do eventually get infected, you're not gonna die. The problem is our hospitals are so clogged that it's not really about, like, sure, you can get sick, but we're not even sure if we can get treated. That's the thing. We're not even sure if there will be room in the hospital for us. Plus, the expenses are crazy. You know, to get into the ICU, to maintain that, it's just really terrible. Like, it's not feasible. So that's the more terrifying reality for me. It's not really about, like, I know the vaccine's gonna help, but we're not even sure if we're gonna be taken care of well. And more than that, what we're sure of is that it's gonna bleed us dry of funds. Yeah. Do be careful. Like, I'd be more confident to get out there if there were more safety nets in place, in my opinion. Hospitalization background of my relatives, the pandemic. For a lot of industries, in my industry in particular, I basically lost my job as a filmmaker because the unfortunate reality is that on-location shoots are the very definition of a, you know, you're there for hours in close contact with people. The actors have to remove their mask. I already had a colleague who died from the pandemic. And a bunch who got sick on set. And I live with 2 seniors. It all adds up to that. Well, that's actually why I'm trying this whole streaming thing. I need to find other ways to generate content and earn revenue. Yeah, in our case, according to the news, there is no space. It's just... That's a terrifying thing. It's like, it's not the fact that... It's like, the vaccines assure us that, yeah, you're most likely gonna live. You're fine. But are you even gonna be able to get into the hospital? That's a real danger. Especially as a country so dense as ours. Sorry, not the whole country. I live in the capital, so Metro Manila has a very dense region.
I can help improve your blades, my lord.
I work metals, woods, and cloth. I'm honored to assist you.
I think we have enough of these. I'm happy with the capacity of that. Let's get more hallucination darts and poison darts. Yes, please.
An excellent choice.
I'll see you again.
Until we next meet, my lord.
Here we go. Masako. How do I get to the fast travel point if it's being covered by Lady Masako? This is so awkward. How do I... Okay, wait. I know the... I think the 4th marker's behind her. Shit. Am I gonna have to go there manually? Anyway. Yeah. It's really cool that you're able to do these things now. Really. They're also opening our country a bit up a bit more.
Control your blades.
What are you guys doing here? Oh shit. Oh god damn it. Wait. Stools. There we go. Yeah, same as in a lot of parts in the world, but hey, you gotta keep strong. Hope that we'll get through all this. And we will.
Hold still.
We will. We just have to
You
learn to live
saved
with
me,
it.
my lord.
I'm glad I got here in time. I've been looking for Mongol camps. Have you seen any nearby?
They're clearing the forest, west of Morimaya Distillery. Soldiers and war dogs everywhere.
Go south to Lord Shimura's castle. You'll be safe.
Oh, we have a technique point. Technique. What's this now? Increase stagger damage against brutes from all moon stance attacks. Yeah. We'll be able to go soon, Sanguine. I know we've been cooped up for years. The world's changed, but we gotta change with it. Oh, he's terrified. Not getting away. Didn't see you there. I think I'm already in the mindset that it's gonna end up like the common cold. It's gonna add it to the list of the other diseases that are actually killing people even until today. And it's just all about managing it, and we'll have to coexist with it. Just getting to those, in our case in the Philippines, it's about getting it into a manageable level where we're not fearing whether we're able to get help if we do get sick. "10 years, huh?" What I do have to manage is my anxiety about it. Because every day in the news, we're given a statistic. We're given numbers. But at the same time, if you look at the statistics, it's a balance. Like, we can't coop ourselves up forever. We have to be able to function and live, or society will just come to a standstill. So it's about finding that balance. Because statistically, it's terrible, but it's manageable. Not sure. Quick Google will help with that. Spanish flu? I'm uncertain. Epidemic. Huh. Okay. Where's Masako? It's about time.
You're sure it was poison?
The man I was with drank right before me. The rest happened quickly. I'll never forget the smell.
Who could have done it? Bandits? Mongols?
Worse. Another farmer. If I only knew which one.
Maybe we should make our own poison. Just to be safe.
I hear you need wolfsbane.
We can gather some tomorrow.
Uh-oh. Well, I guess cat's out of the bag. Everyone has poison now. There's Masako.
Jin,
I'm sorry to interrupt.
you're not.
We almost killed Masako at one point. She really wanted to get at her killers, but in parallel to us, she went a bit too far. So we're similar in that respect, and let's see if we can find some closure together.
You've been praying.
To my ancestors. Asking forgiveness for what I'm about to do.
What do they say?
I can't hear them.
Perhaps your ancestors are silent because they can't do what you must.
I know where my sister is. Clan Kikuchi's old fort.
Oh shit, that's right, it's your sister.
Ready?
I have no incense left to burn. No more prayers to make.
I surprisingly really like those lines. No incense left to burn, no prayers left to make. Woman with nothing to
Kikuchi estate
lose.
is this way.
That is the worry right now, Izzy. We're not sure if we're ready to open up, but we have to. But we're opening up. Next month will be a deciding factor for us. Once theaters, malls, everything just operating relatively normally with limited capacity, but with the holidays,
How did you find your
everything,
sister?
we'll see.
She was married to a man named Ikeda, a retainer for Clan Kikuchi.
Their stronghold is near here, under the mountain.
She always wanted an estate and holdings of her own.
And with Kikuchi's men fallen at Komoda.
It made sense she would try and take Kikuchi's for herself.
Especially after she failed to take yours.
I asked around. It seems a new clan has taken up residence. Their emblem matches the one on the notes.
And it's her.
She wishes to have her own
She's
clan.
turned it into a haven for refugees, claiming she knows what it's like to lose her home.
Do you think it's true?
We're about to find out.
Why would your sister say she lost her home?
She had to leave home when she married Ikeda.
You said Ikeda was a retainer.
Yes.
But you're the younger sister. Why were you the one to marry a samurai?
When we were young, bandits attacked our estate. Hana hid with our parents. I took up a sword. Only after I dispatched the bandits did a samurai guard arrive to help. Adachi was leading them. Hana saw him as a way to realize
I don't want to interrupt my
but he
conversation.
only had eyes for me.
Oh, come on. I was talking to her, guys. Ow. I just ate that in the face.
She was jealous then. The seed of many betrayals.
I wanted to ease her heartbreak, so I helped arrange the marriage to Ikeda.
And she was sent north? Is that what you're gonna say? Damn, alright. No wonder why her sister was pissed. Jesus, yeah, it's not exactly the most... We don't exactly have the most confidence in our own government. Yeah, man, it's...
She's turned it into a haven for refugees.
Oh, there, thank you. They're
Claiming she
restarting the
knows what it's like
conversation.
to lose her home.
Do you think it's true?
We're about to find out.
Why would your sister say she lost her home?
She had to leave home when she married Ikeda.
You said Ikeda was a retainer.
Yes.
But you're the younger sister. Why were you the one to marry a samurai?
Why are there Mongols here?
When we were young, bandits attacked our estate. Hana hid with our parents. I took up a sword. Only after I dispatched the bandits did a samurai guard arrive to help. Adachi was leading them. Hana saw him as a way to realize her ambitions, but he only had eyes for me.
She was jealous then. The seed of many betrayals.
I wanted to ease her heartbreak, so I helped arrange her marriage to Ikeda, and she was sent north.
She hated you for that. Who was Ikeda?
Did you know the man you sent your sister to live with?
Ikeda was a respected widower. People spoke well of his kindness.
Kindness is a mask, easily removed behind closed doors.
What are you getting at, Jin?
I want to understand why she went to such extremes to destroy you. After so many years.
There is only one thing to understand. Hana murdered my family, and today she will pay for it.
Alright, let's go meet her sister. Yeah, that's a great thing. At least we have modern technology. It helps softening the blow a bit, and I'm a bit more confident that we'll find a solution. It is a surprisingly quick turnaround, you're right.
Was there ever any sign of her betrayal?
We were never close, but our relationship was always cordial. I would see her at Lord Shimura's conclaves. We'd exchange pleasantries. I had no idea she held such hate in her heart.
But she was at your estate, the day of the attack.
She came that morning to wait with me for news from Komoda Beach. We were both concerned for our husbands. It was the first time I ever felt close to her. She met my grandchildren, brought them gifts.
Wow.
They loved her. Now I know she hadn't come for comfort, but to witness our death.
Jesus.
And women in your family fought. I saw that for myself.
I stayed with my son's wives while Hana took the children and ran for the stables. Afterward, I found what I thought was her body. The face was brutalized, unrecognizable. The gold sash was Hana's. I buried her with my family.
She must have learned you survived the attack. Faked her death to escape you. A clever plan.
My survival was her greatest mistake.
Let's get to the bottom of this. You know, that's the important part. At this point, please believe in science. It's like, at this point in time, it's just like, that's one of the bare minimums, right? It's tough. I know people
We're
who,
almost there.
especially in a very religious country such as ours, it's not a pretty thing when
Leave the horses. We'll continue on foot.
it's not a pretty thing when people discard science because Facebook told them that that's not how it works. This is it. So you married off your sister.
Be ready. If this is a haven for survivors, there's no telling what to expect.
Where is Lady Hana?
It's Lady Muscle. Kill her!
Damn.
Cut them down!
I'll kill you!
Help me open the gate.
Quickly, before more guards show up.
Here's one thing. Sure, they believe that, but at the same time, there's an anecdote, right? Or that it made its rounds. It's basically, so someone was in danger of drowning, and so many people came to him to rescue him, but he kept saying, "Don't worry, prayer will save me. Prayer will save me." All the way until the end, and he ended up drowning. And when he asked God, "Why didn't you answer my prayers?" And God said, "I sent you a lifeboat, I sent you a raft, I sent you an airplane, I sent you a helicopter, but you decided not to take any of those opportunities to save yourself." And there's a expression in our language, "Nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa tao ang gawa." I just revealed my really shitty accent there for the Filipinos here. Basically, I'm off that mentality. You can pray, you can believe in God, you can pray, but you got to do the work. And honestly, that's what a lot of the Jesuits are trying to tell people as well, and other people. in the orders, in the church. The more practical-minded people believe in science. There are different ways that God speaks through the world. If you really believe in that. Yeah, I'm not the right person to talk about faith. My point is just that. It's just very sad when I see people ignore science because they think prayer is going to protect them. Where they're forgetting the fact that their own God is probably trying to speak to them saying, hey, you know, science is there. I'm trying to help you. Please understand it. Ugh. Yeah, I didn't get to follow US politics a lot. I'll probably have to ask my dad about that more. But yeah, I heard about that. It's just not pretty. Honestly, it's gotten to a point here where it feels like such a game to them. And like in our political circles, it's so blatantly I mean, I can't dwell on it now. It's every single day in the news. It's like some new thing comes up. It's like a reality TV show, and we're watching it crash and burn. Except I'm not enjoying it because it's actually happening to our country. It is a game, indeed, Sanguine, in terms of, like, fine, mechanically, yeah. It is a game that needs to be played. In the Game of Thrones. Either win or you die. I mean, it's not that intense, but it is, yeah. Oh, okay, that's cool. Alright. Let's meet Masako's sister. I'm also a sucker for these kinds of narratives. Family members with differing ideologies, irreconcilable differences, and an ultimate fate that must be decided in this moment. I'm excited to conclude Masako's arc.
So she is helping people.
Hana helps no one but herself. Lady Hana, show yourself!
Kill them!
Where is she?
Reinforcements.
You serve a murderer!
I love this set piece.
Face me, you coward!
It looks so amazing, this game.
Don't let him escape!
Push toward the dojo!
How many are there?
Doesn't matter. Kill them all!
Where is Lady Hana?
You won't leave here alive!
Are you their champion?
There! Stand and fight!
They run away.
Turtles! I'm with you!
Please, don't kill me.
What's going on here? Explain.
Where's Lady Hana?
In the estate up the hill, my lord.
Tell the coward her sister has come.
Why did you kill Lady Masako's entire family? Let me guess. The Mongols offered her something she couldn't refuse. Get back at her sister.
What will you do when you see her?
Exactly what she did to me.
She's still your family.
My family is dead. She is nothing but a murderer.
Weren't we just talking about toxic family members? She gets her own clan. She gets everything she wants. She gets land, territory, if the Mongols win. But we're not gonna let that happen. She better have a good explanation for massacring her entire family.
Hana, show yourself.
He's running Mandalorian. Remember in the scene in Mandalorian with the narrow bridge with the lake on either side?
Little sister.
Pond on either
Let
side.
me think I buried you. Who was it, really?
A peasant woman killed by the Mongols. Did you weep for me?
You have taken everything.
Daughters and grandchildren. Not nearly enough. The
Holy
Mongols
shit.
robbed me of Adachi's death. And you cheated yours. But finally, I will take everything. Kill them.
For a moment, I thought you were redeemable.
I will deal with them.
Thank you.
Not at all.
We have him!
Masako.
Masako? No, this is what they want. It's a trap. Oh.
You murdered my children. My grandchildren. Destroyed my family.
A small price to pay for what you've done.
I have done nothing.
You stole everything. Drove me from our home. Took the life that was rightfully mine. Left me with that abusive drunk in this frozen land.
Shit. He was an
Have
asshole.
to suffer an eternity of pain to understand the life I've lived. The life you forced on me.
None of that is my fault.
It is! And damn you for acting as if it isn't. You've come to kill me, so finish this. It will be your only kindness.
I can't end your suffering. But you can.
Now, you have nothing.
Whoa.
I never mourned my family. I've tried to honor them. Meditate on treasured memories. But she consumes them. Even now. I have nothing left.
No. You've accomplished what you set out to do. You have honored your family, given them justice. Now you can find peace.
This path does not lead to peace.
Where does it lead?
I don't know. I have to continue walking it to find out.
I don't want you to go.
I must. But I will be there when you need me.
Yep. Well, that concludes Lady Masako's story. Worn by samurai of the Adachi clan. Charm of the Lost Mind. Stealth charm. In the middle of all that, I just realized why I tend to... Well, probably gonna wrap the stream here, but There's a reason why I think I just realized when the sisters were confronting each other that in my own experience, we've had that as well. Same thing. Basically, one sister got everything in the perspective of the other. And they were cordial, but behind the scenes, the one who was jealous and envious of the sister who got more, it was rough. Similarly with how Lady Masako's sister blamed her for everything. She was jealous, she was envious, she married into a rich family, she became a samurai, everything. Her sister got everything in her eyes, and she was the one that set up the marriage with the abusive husband. And we were just talking about how it's not so easy to escape from that life, especially here at this time period in Japan. I saw the scar. I think there was a scar on her sister's face, probably a result of her husband's abuse. And she needed someone to blame. And who put her in that situation? Her own sister. This is pretty much what happened in my own real life family history. Except they didn't send... Actually, they could have sent assassins, but they didn't get that far. They could have sent hitmen, but they didn't get that far. Honestly, it's so difficult to mix family troubles with land ownership problems. Yeah. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, don't worry. I didn't interpret it as a bad thing. It is at the bottom line. The bottom line is it's classical. You had everything and I had nothing, and I want everything back. It's a tough situation. Yeah, that's pretty good. The performances here and there, and now that I'm used to the English voice, it's taking me less out of the game, and I'm just kind of more immersed now. So I do like that. It's sad to see that I guess this is the last we're seeing of Masako for this arc. Because we have Ishikawa next and Norio. We last left off with Sensei Ishikawa. Tomoe was trying to get in our heads. I think she's trying to manipulate us, but Ishikawa as well, I appreciate how they never made him really be upfront with us. They always made sure Sensei Ishikawa was hiding a detail from us, which causes us to mistrust him. And I think Tomoe, his wayward student who became a killer and was spreading the way of the bow to the Mongols to get back at her sensei and more. We encountered her, she could have killed us, but she didn't. So I think Tomoe was trying to risk it. She tried to worm into my head saying that Ishikawa's not telling you everything. Ishikawa's wrong in this sense. Trust me, Ishikawa's using you. So... But Jin didn't believe that. But we'll see. We have 2 more episodes with Ishikawa and 2 more episodes with Norio. Norio, who is one of the last warrior monks of his sect. They traveled all the way from the north, but they were waylaid by bandits and more. And the brothers never made it to Komoda Beach. Where actually Komoda Beach, where a lot of the samurai were massacred as well. So perhaps they dodged a bullet, or perhaps they suffered a worse fate. We're going to find out. Norio is one of the last living ones, and we're going to help him out with 2 more episodes left for that. Yeah, age-old story of land grabbing. Sanguine, it never ends. It never freaking ends. All the way until the death of that sister. It is really terrible. But you know, you gotta make do with what you're given. And thankfully, it didn't get as bad as it could have been. But it's a challenge. So next week, return to Ghost of Tsushima on every Saturday. We'll be finishing up the tales of Sensei Ishikawa and Brother Norio before moving on to the main quest, The Gathering Storm. I feel like we're coming into the head. The story's coming to a head. We're nearing the end, I believe. Act 3, Kill the Khan. And I'm excited to see where the story leads us, because this isn't it. After we kill the Khan, how is history going to remember Jin Sakai? How are we going to deal with our uncle? Our uncle, who imprisoned us for poisoning the entire Mongol encampment, for dishonoring the samurai code. He was going to send us to the shogun for judgment, but our allies are now, it's ride or die. They're with us. They've chosen the side of the ghost. It's on me now to push through and carry on and finish what we started. We're going to end this invasion alongside our allies, and then we're going to face the judgment of the Shimura clan and the others. Not hopeful about what's going to happen, but I'm quite into the story right now. It's got its hooks into me, whereas in the very beginning, it's just kind of like, okay. It's fun, gameplay-wise. Story-wise, not really, but I'm appreciating it even more now, and I'd love to play it even more. But that's all the time we have. I don't think we've had any deaths. I think that's the first on this stream. Did I? I don't think I died. Yeah, and we had some pretty smooth stealth segments up to a certain point. Like, we were mostly stealth. Yeah, I feel good about this. In the previous runs, I'd always have a death, or I'd always botch stealth, but we're getting used to it. And we'll need all the tools we can get if we're going to go after the Khan. So, Izzy Curse, thank you for staying for the whole stream once more. Hope things go well at work. Hope it's not too much, and that eventually you'll get a bit less on your plate. Sanguine, thank you again for tuning in every Saturday. And for any lurkers that may be here, if you enjoy this content and want to experience and want to keep track of what's going on with the channel, please consider following us on Instagram and Twitter. On Instagram, that's where I'm trying to put more in-game photography in, because I have roots in photography and I do love me a good photo mode. I'm trying to find time to take more screenshots. It's mostly been Ghost of Tsushima, but I may be putting other screenshots up there of games I'm playing off stream, such as Spider-Man and Death Stranding. On lethal mode, you die all the time. I'm pretty sure. Hard mode was really tough to start with, I must say. But when I got all my tools, when I got more resolve, now hard mode feels just right for me. Actually, now it feels a bit easy that I feel like I could go to lethal, but I heard Iki Island is difficult. It's gonna test our abilities. Let's do it, because we're gonna have Returnal again next Thursday. That's a whole different kind of gameplay, and my muscle memory is all over the place. But we're off on Sunday. We're off on Monday. We'll be back on Tuesday for Wildermyth, which is a procedurally generated RPG. Totally different from what the game's been playing now. It scratches that tabletop RPG itch for me. We're going through the campaigns there, and we're in the third campaign, I believe. Almost done with the third campaign. So we're past the halfway point for our playthrough with Wildermyth. Wednesday, I'm still deciding, because Wednesdays and Fridays are reserved usually for special extended streams when there's a new release, or there's a thematic month to get a game in, which is why I've been playing kind of spooky stuff. We cleared Metroid Dread last week, so Wednesday's still up in the air. I'm still deciding what to play. Thursday is our regular schedule for Returnal. Friday, I've decided to push through Resident Evil 7. We finished Until Dawn yesterday, so we're going to be playing Resident Evil 7, because honestly, Until Dawn was a test for me. I get freaking terrified of horror games. Until Dawn got me with all its jump scares. I feel like I'm ready for Resident Evil 7 now. Someone in chat said that he found Resident Evil 7 even scarier than Until Dawn, in a different way. But we'll see. In typical RE fashion, I'm expecting to, once we get kitted up with a shotgun, a gun, bullets, it'll be less scary. And especially with chat there, I'll be able to play through Resident Evil 7. I quit after the first half an hour because I got too terrified when I was playing it on my own. So, to wrap up October, which will kind of bleed over into November, we're going to be playing to completion a first playthrough of Resident Evil 7. I don't have Village yet. I might play Village after that. It's on sale now. I should consider that. Yeah, Resident Evil 7, claustrophobic, first person, and I'm so bummed that they never released the VR version for the PC. Because I would have totally played it in VR if I could. I know there are mods. I'll have to research that, but I think it's not like official VR support like in PSVR. I really would have played it in VR if I could. The Resident Evil 7 on the PC. But hey, yeah, it's first person, claustrophobic. I'm not looking forward to that for my own sanity, but I'm looking forward to that for my own enjoyment. If that makes any sense. Yeah, Sanguine, thanks again for redeeming all those coins. I can't, no comment, because I play on all consoles, and I believe we ought to expand our horizons if you're able. And each console has its merits. Of course, I do love Mio, like PC Master Race kind of thing going on. I honestly don't believe that. Honestly, I get so frustrated with my own PC because my PC shuts off when it wants to. My PC sometimes can't handle a game when I want it to. It's a love-hate relationship with my PC right now. But I am grateful that I do have a PC that I can stream and do all these things with. And Macho Cacho isn't here, but if Macho Cacho does see this video, I am also very grateful. It's just so freaking difficult to get a PlayStation 5 in our country. Anywhere in the world, really. But Macho Cacho helped me secure a PlayStation. So I'm catching up on that because I never owned a PlayStation 4. I missed a whole generation of PlayStation games. So I never played the original Ghost of Tsushima. This is really my first time experiencing the game, and I'm loving it. Yeah, Izzy, it kind of got that. Yeah, I appreciate your taste in games as well. And I hope to, well, share even more stories with people and eventually write our own. I keep promising that. I gotta keep holding myself accountable to that. I really am. I really do need to get back into the Game Master's chair. This whole thing, trying to build a community, play these games, it is part of what we're trying to offer, but it is also a way for me to get used to the camera. Like, you should have seen me on my first streams. I was so, let's just say I just feel a bit more natural now. Just streaming, talking to people, balancing gameplay with interacting with chat. I feel like I'm getting there. My confidence in actually streaming has grown because honestly, like, I do have my own issues as to what kind of value I feel like I can provide to people. And streaming has been a way to help me reclaim a bit of structure. I did mention that the pandemic really affected my line of work, and it's not something that I can feasibly do without putting people I love in danger. So I've been trying to struggle with actually starting on the stream, but I'm really grateful for all my supporters who've been here since the first month, who've subscribed and have been encouraging me to really start this thing. And I'm more than 2 months in, and I don't feel like I want to stop anytime soon. And I really want to get into more original content and get more things out there. Yeah, it's about becoming the fluent in the stream language. It's a new territory for me. Yeah, I'm trying to fill up my YouTube, Sanguine. I'm trying to put all the VODs up there. I'm a one-person team right now. Sorry, scratch that. I'm a one-person, two-cat team right now. So I've been trying to find a balance for things, and it's been great so far. I'm having a lot of fun, and I really appreciate being able to interact with chat. I came into this stream worried, actually, that it's gonna affect my appreciation for the games, because I'm used to curling up on a couch, just me and the game, absorbing everything. But I can really say that the games I have played on stream so far have been all the more. It's a different experience that I surprisingly enjoyed. Like sharing single player games and having people there in chat discussing things, especially Life is Strange. That's where I realized that that is my biggest worry. When I played Life is Strange True Colors, before starting it, I was thinking, should I play this off stream for quote unquote maximum enjoyment, or should I stream it? In the end, I decided to stream it, and I'm so glad I did. It helped me really get into the game more, surprisingly. And it's just something else. It's really interesting. And I never thought I'd be interacting with chat like this. So I'm really grateful. Life is Strange True Colors. Yeah, if you're into that kind of... If you enjoy any of the Life is Strange games, honestly, like after weeks of being able to process it and letting it sink in. Okay, in the moment, I was so into it. I was crying every episode. Within every episode, I was actually crying multiple times. I'm a very emotional player. Because, I don't know, the performances, the character interactions, the way it was edited, and the way the lines were delivered, it just got to me. And alongside the visuals, super improved from the previous Life is Strange games. And, you know, par for course, an amazing soundtrack to go with it all. It just really moved me emotionally. But peeling back the layers, going into the story objectively, it's not exactly. I didn't really. The focus wasn't really the plot. I would say the plot isn't anything really to write home about. It's not at all. It lives. It lives and dies with its character interactions, and if you're able to really gravitate towards these people, because someone on our stream actually pointed out that like he didn't like True Colors at all because he didn't like any of the characters, which is tough. And it's a character driven game, really less on plot. The plot is just there to like push some things along, but it's really about a story of empathy, forgiveness, and how you handle how you handle you know suffering from mental health issues and trauma, like how to get around that and how to help people process it through their emotions. Like there are certain segments where you kind of wonder, if you have the power of empathy, if you have the power to manipulate people's emotions, is it really right to take away someone's anger, to take away someone's fear? So it brings up questions like that. And as simply, for me, it is one of the better written Life is Strange games. And I'm including also Tell Me Why, which was from Don't Nod. This one is from Deck 9, who made Before the Storm. So if you liked Before the Storm, it carries that hallmark where it felt like a more grounded experience focused on character moments. Because for me, Life is Strange 1 and Life is Strange 2, yes, the powers were plot devices, but the powers were in parallel with the ongoing story. They played a big role, turning back time or throwing shit with your mind with telekinetic powers. Whereas for Deck Nine's games, Before the Storm and now True Colors, literally Before the Storm, you played as Chloe, you had no powers, no way to rewind time. Everything you do, there's no reloading. Choices mattered. There's no turning back. You live with the consequences. And it felt, I was worried I wasn't gonna like it because there was no powers involved. But honestly, I actually really liked Before the Storm. And they did the similar thing here with True Colors. The power is really not a focus at all. In fact, it feels more like a metaphor for actual empathy. It literally is the power of empathy, but it's not a superpower. It feels attainable. It feels like this, you can actually be a very empathetic person in real life. There are very empathetic people in real life. The powers, the colors, it's just there to highlight these aspects of the character. So yeah, I kind of rambled there. I love the game. Long story short, I love True Colors. I'll forever remember it because it actually convinced me that I wanted to keep on streaming and sharing these stories with people. And it gave me a good cry. Story was not the best for me, but I found it the most organically written of all the Life is Strange games. The power of being a good person. Yes. So yeah, the voice acting, the writing, it really carried True Colors. Because True Colors is also on the shorter side of the spectrum. So yeah, I really appreciated the games. I really like that. I'd love to play more games like it. But for now, we got Ghost of Tsushima. We're off on Sunday and Monday. Again, returning on Tuesday. Thank you once again. If Again, if there are any lurkers there, I forgot to plug in our Discord here. If you want to become a part of the community, we're super small but growing, and we're finding direction. We're finding our heading. But if you wish to join on this, if you want to embark on this journey with us, everything you need to know is in the About panels in our Discord, in our Twitch below. A Discord link, YouTube link, Twitter, Instagram, it's all there. So thank you once again for tuning in. Sanguine, Izzy, any lurkers who may be there, thank you for accompanying me on this journey. Excited to conclude Jin's journey over the coming months, and we'll have more for you in the future. Have a great weekend. This is Tabletop Cinema, with the first playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima continuing next week. GG, Sanguine. GG, Izzy. GG, everyone. And as always, welcome to the table. Have a great day.